Welcome in YouTube. I'm Dudes and Monster. Today we got the Arc Raiders update, February 1.15.0 patch. We got lots of notes to go over and all the changes that have been made there. But first I want to take a look at some other events, announcements that were made this week, as I haven't been able to cover them. We're going to kind of roll all this together in one big weekly update video. So first of all, thank you for clicking on the video. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that I want to touch on is something that came out the very next morning after I posted my last video, the top 5 things that I was concerned with about Arc Raiders. And the number one thing that I was concerned about was the scheduling of the Bird City event. We got an update pushed out at night or the next morning after when I posted that video, basically going over that they acknowledged the scheduling issue and stated here, we've pushed an update that increases the availability of Bird City, allowing more players to join the flock of raiders searching for rare ducks. I did get to finally play some Bird City. I did get to finally get my hands on some of those rare ducks. Not all of them yet, but we're still working on it. Also announced this week were the expectations for the upcoming expedition, which is in like 2 weeks. All right, so going over what occurred with the first expedition here, where the permanent expedition cosmetics that were unlocked for that, the permanent 12 stash spaces, 0 to 5 skill points based on player wealth, 5% XP boost, 6% scrappy boost, 60% repair value increase. All right, and the expected items with the second expedition, and this is kind of exciting. We are going to get an alternate patchwork outfit skin, scrappy cosmetics, and the expedition indicator icon. All right, 24 permanent stash spaces as an expedition bonus. That's amazing news. And then they announced and talked about the 0 to 5 skill point bonus, which will be cheaper. This go around, I believe a total of 3 million to get those 5 extra skill points, but you will also be able to catch up on missed skill points from the first expedition if you didn't do the first expedition. I did not. So, but the thing is, you have to complete the 5 skill points for the second expedition first, and then you can purchase those extra skill points from the previous one at a discounted rate as well. We're getting a 10% total XP boost, 12% scrappy boost, 70% repair value increase, so increased values there, and then more to come on the third expedition upcoming in a few months. All right, the next announcement that we got this week, coming with this week's update, clear skies and sunny temperatures are predicted for topside this weekend, but don't pack your winter gear away yet, folks. The weather towers are predicting sporadic snowfall in the foreseeable future. The cold snap returns to our regular rotation of conditions from February 10th. So we're bringing Cold Snap back. I'm so excited about that. I know you are too. Listen, I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing, all right, or just for the last few weeks of winter here, but I'm all for it. I think the Cold Snap event was super fun. I know we're going to have increased loot values. They touch on it in the patch notes, but I'm sure the Candleberries, that event that we had during the holiday season, probably, not going to have any impact on the game. But the next announcement that we got was for the Shared Watch event beginning this week with the Tuesday update. And I know tons of you out there are so excited about the PvE content, and I myself personally wanted some limited time event, weekly events or bi-weekly or monthly events that were PvE focused, and they were clearly listening. We've got it. We're going to go into some details on that in the patch notes. Also this week, they pushed out an update, a quick hotfix, and a statement here basically explaining, heads up raiders, an additional quick hotfix just dropped, squashing the item duplication bug. Thank you all for reporting the issue and for being patient with us while we sorted it out. Players who have duplicated excessive amounts of items will be subject to further review and possible penalties. Nothing beats earning your loot the hard way. Now get back out there and stack those coins honestly. So I think something else was released or said about this. Basically, if you have abused this duplication process to obtain yourself glorious amounts of wealth and loot, there are possible bans in order. So hopefully you weren't doing that. If you happen to come by a pile of ducks in game, it is what it is, right? Hopefully they're able to see that that's how you acquire those. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me. It did happen to some folks that I know though, so I am kind of jealous. But that issue should be resolved now. So moving on. All right, and with the Tuesday update, we did get a new store offering, and typically I don't cover these as a part of a content update. However, I did want to focus on this one because it's relative to some of the things I've criticized the game for in some of my videos, and I've heard from the community at large that some of the skins and the character models in game don't feel cool or up to par by a lot of folks' standard. So I've been asking for some more serious looking bundles, and I gotta tell you, this one is pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. So you can see here, of course, I did already purchase the skin itself. This is the Vulpine set. The outfit is called the Huntsman. And as you can see, we've got 3 different color options here for this outfit. And of course, that does also change the color offering for your headgear, which is basically a fox head fur, right? You got a fox, what looks to be like a raccoon possibly, and no fox, a white fox. All right, these are pretty cool. I can't lie, the gas mask even looks all right compared to some of the other ones that we've seen in game. But you know, if you go down through here and you take everything off except for the fur, I think this is a pretty awesome looking setup. You know, even if you go up and take the fur off, just rock the standard offering, it's pretty all right. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got also the rabbit's foot charm that's available with that. Some weird chalky white paint to go around with the other weird offerings for face markings. I don't know. And then this emote, which is kind of cool, little tracking hunter emote. So I think as far as offerings go in the store, this is one of the coolest ones we've gotten yet. Certainly not the only one that's also available. So let's take a look at the patch notes. Let's see what they got in store for us. All right, we got the February 1.15.0 update. Raiders, what happens topside stays topside. Raiders have to leave their grudges at the tubes. But Speranza also has a conscience. While Raider violence can't be totally controlled, Celeste is keen to remind us why we took refuge under the dust of the Rust Belt. And that just because we live in the dirt, we don't always have to act like it. The Shared Watch is an annual holiday that reminds us of the true enemy by celebrating those that look out for their fellow Raiders. Tolerate, team up, or take out some arc. It's all in the spirit of the Shared Watch. All right, so what's new with the Shared Watch event? This is an opportunity to team up in a fight against the machines. The Shared Watch event starts today and ends on February 24th. Players will earn merits from destroying, assisting, and damaging arc and earn rewards. No merits will be earned from PvP encounters. Bring a friend or bring a stranger, but above all, bring enough ammo to make sure the machines notice you first. So when you log into the game, you'll get this new event battle pass based on the Shared Watch. We get the new outfit, the Slugger, offered in many different variations of that. Some Raider tokens that we can earn throughout a couple of pages on this pass. A couple of blueprints you may not have. A new snap hook. Again, some more emotes and face paint markings. And then also we will receive a new guitar if you don't already have one. The instruments are pretty fun, and they have announced recently they plan on bringing more. So, and look at that, a little Slugger helmet for Scrappy, which I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty funny. All right, and again, the Cold Snap map condition. Winter is not quite done with the Rust Belt. We are bringing back Cold Snap. The map condition is back in rotation on outdoor maps with the same mix of risk and reward. Frostbite damage will make your trip topside a short one if you don't seek shelter, but for those who do brave the tundra, there's increased loot value at stake. You can still collect candleberries, but they're no longer tied to any event. You can also collect and throw snowballs. Use them wisely or don't. So I hope the loot value is worth it, all right, because I don't think anyone wants to go into this event if there's not some rewards to be had. It is a fun event. I had fun with it, but it does feel like maybe we'll skip over it if there's not really a reason to go in there. Okay, again, the cosmetics, the Vulpine set, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, and the Slugger set. We've discussed that previously. All right, some content and bug fixes. All right, some of you noticed changes in past updates that didn't make it into the patch notes. Thank you for flagging those and keeping us on our toes. We've been building Arc Raiders for years, but we've only been live for a short while, and we're still growing into the rhythm and discipline of live operation. Making patch notes that are complete, accurate, and easy to follow is a muscle we're actively training. We're improving our internal process so fewer things slip through, and when something does, your reports help us catch it quickly and update the notes. Please keep letting us know when you spot something missing. It genuinely helps. Right. So, you know, they're admitting that they have had some changes that have gone out that they have not talked about in patch notes and are promising to get better at that. So that's good. Some miscellaneous changes here. They improved instances where players sometimes could not reconnect after disconnecting from a game. Fixed an issue where the match start tunnel scene sometimes wasn't being shown. Fixed an issue where Trials' objective rewards could fail to grant at the end of a round due to a timeout, ensuring partial rewards are awarded when earned. Fixed an issue where the end of round screen would sometimes show incorrect merits, XP, and live event points. Fixed an issue where players' platform icons would sometimes show incorrectly. Fixed an issue where crafting would sometimes get canceled. All right, so they did update here the Trailblazer grenade. The explosions no longer deal damage through walls. Okay, that's probably a good thing, right? Deals more damage to small enemies, but less damage to bigger enemies, such as the Leaper and the Bastion. I don't know if I like that change. We have very limited weapons against some of those larger arc. This was a good one, an unsung hero in some situations. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, weapons. Fixed inconsistent weapon cycling when bound to keys other than the mouse wheel. Keybinds now swap weapons reliably. All right, and then they have a list of some known issues here that they're still working on. One of the Marco set helmet variants may appear incorrectly in preview and in the menu, but will appear correctly in game. Players may occasionally not receive a skill point as indicated in the result screen. A reboot playing another round fixes the issue. Purchase Raider tokens page may appear in front of the inbox and profile page when switching between them. Player animations may appear broken when interrupting a search of the Baron Husk. Certain containers may be unavailable to be interacted with. Ziplines placed onto destroyed arc parts will not appear correctly. My goodness, I could not read that. Scrappy batting helmet and the slugger outfit might not appear correctly in the event preview. The blindsided achievement may not trigger as intended on the first attempt. See you topside. All right, so that's the update. It may not be very large or as large as some of you were hoping. I do think they fixed a lot. I do think they've added some content to the game, which we were all asking for. They did give us their roadmap for the first 4 months of the year. So we still have some major updates and content coming for the month of February. Seems like they're planning on trying to get the ball rolling and getting more out, maybe weekly, bi-weekly, more content, more stuff available to us for the game, more fixes and all of that. Fantastic. I'm here for it. I think this is a great update. I'm happy with this. We'll see how the game plays. I can't wait to get in there and check it out. Thank you for watching the video. If you made it this far, please leave us a like and subscribe. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And until next time, I'll see you topside. Peace.